Hey, Coach, with the difficult stretch y'all face throughout February and into March, playing so many competitive games back to back to back, I want to know what lessons can you take from that consistent competition into the tournament this week?
Well, I think when we're really locked in and we understand what works for us, we do a good job. We've got to have really good ball movement. We've got to be ready to shoot. The ball's got to get from side to side. We want to get out on our break. We have to trust our half court execution if our break is not there, and do a really good job. I think where we've got to, when we've screened well, when we've cut well, when we've been ready to shoot, it's put us in good position. And even when we miss, it gets us into position to offensive rebound. Defensively, it all starts with transition defense. And whether it's creating turnovers and you're out running, or they miss a shot, you miss a shot and you got to get back, whatever it is, you've got to understand the transition game is huge, as paramount as there is on both sides, on both ends, whether it's offense or defense. So to me, us getting back, doing a good job of not chasing the ball. That's where we've got to be at our best, which means we're not over helping on the basketball. And if somebody gets a shot, at least it's a one-on-one. It's not because it was a scramble and it was wide open. And then we have to block out well. So, there's been numerous experiences, but I think the belief that you can win no matter what the situation is, if you keep your spirit up and understand that you can't have empty possessions when momentum's up for grabs. You know what? That's been our biggest Achilles heel. When it's right there and we'll have 3 or 4 bad possessions, and all of a sudden the magnitude of the other teams, they capitalize on it. So those are the things that I hopefully we've learned, we talk about, we practice and prepare for, and we've got to do a good job with it.
Thank you.
Tom, Anthony mentioned about going up against, obviously one of the better bigs in the league in Tillman. How hard is that to find these days in recruiting, whether through high school or the transfer market? And how would that change things if you could add one to your mix?
Well, I think it would. Think about what we had 2 years ago with Nick Claxton. I'd put him on anybody in the country. He'd be guarding Jeremiah Tillman or their point guard. I think that's the best, when you can get size that has versatility, size that can do numerous things, size that can play a complete game. It is hard to get size. Jeremiah Tillman was recruited by probably at some point in time everybody in the country. He was a national name from the 9th grade year on. And there's a reason, because he's skilled, he's big, and he's gotten much bigger and better for them. So it is hard to find. It's hard to find somebody that has the athleticism and the versatility when they have that kind of size, or has the shooting range when they have that kind of size. But to me, again, the way we want to play, we want to continue to make sure, yes, we get bigger, but that we also have the versatility for them to do multiple things. And when you can get size like that, there's no question that you want that in your program, and you'll work around it. But when you can get optimal versatility, that makes a huge difference. And that's certainly something that we're trying to recruit.
Thanks.
Coach, Chip Towers is having audio issues, but his question is, what kind of a difference would Rayshawn Hammonds have made this year, especially facing a guy like Tillman?
Well, I think he also asked that what it could be, because I got the text from him about what would it be like having Rayshawn and Anthony, and there's no question that I think about that from time to time. I think about what it'd be like if Nick Claxton was a senior, though we'd have never, his rate of development, he left when it was the best time. We'd have never got past his junior year, even if he would have come back with what he's capable of and what he's going to do in the NBA. There's no doubt it would be different. There's no doubt that size-wise it would be different, but we don't have that. So the bottom line is, you've got to scheme and plan the best way that you can to overcome it. And we've had to deal with bigs all year. The only kid that's played in the game with Jeremiah Tillman on our team is Ty Fagan, because Jeremiah played the first year. I don't even believe he played last year when we played in Columbia. So to me, it would be so much easier if it was just, okay, we got to guard the low post. But no, you have to guard everybody that Konzo puts on the perimeter, because of their ability to score and shoot. When they play 3 guards the way that they do, as exclusively as they do, it makes it a challenge. So to me, no matter what your size is, you've got to do a great job of playing team defense.
Let's go to Palmer and then Mike.
Yeah, Coach, thinking about the last time y'all were in Nashville, this is kind of when it all came crashing down. Given the challenges that college basketball has faced this year with COVID, did you think that you'd get to this point again?
Oh, I never thought like that. I mean, that's not that's a hypothetical to me. I mean, you prepare all season, and I don't think you ever think about the what ifs as much, or you plan for the future as much this year as you stay in the day, and then you know that those things are coming. But there's no question it's been different, and it'll be a year tomorrow. And as I told the team last night, the last time we were here, we played one of our best games of the season, and we were very confident going into the next day against Florida, and then everything changed that day and changed in the world for the rest of our lives. But I think the most important thing you can do every day is stay in that moment. Certainly you have a vision for the future, a plan for the future, but the moment you get too far ahead of it in this past year is the moment you're going to be behind. So I would say that we're very fortunate. Everybody that's in a conference tournament right now, just like everybody that played college football or went to a bowl game, or everybody that's playing college baseball or volleyball or ladies basketball, we're all very, very fortunate. And I think it's important that you never lose sight of that. And I think as leaders, it's very important that we remind them of that, because when you have something that ends as abruptly as it did a year ago, it shakes you, and you can never take this for granted. And that's why you have to be appreciative of what you get.
Coach, I want to ask you about Toumani Camara, and just from a couple things, and maybe I wasn't diligent enough asking you about his recruiting before, but where did you find him, one? And two, I noticed the All-SEC defensive team came out. He wasn't on that. He wasn't second team, but he sure seems like a capable guy. Could you talk about how you found Toumani and just his performance and what he's meant this year?
Sure. First off, let me say I nominated him for both. And when our nominations go out, I mean, I definitely nominated him for all SEC, and I definitely nominated him for the all defensive team. And I think he's deserving. I frankly think he's deserving of both. We saw him in AU. Joe Scott really was the one that felt the strongest about him. And we were actually recruiting somebody else on his team at the time, but he kept growing on us in the way that he played and the versatility, and he just fit so much with the upside that we're trying to bring into the program. And Joe was the one that kept saying, I think there's really something there. And then the more you dive in and you get to know him, you get to know his high school coach, you get to know his guardian, David Putter, you get to know his background, and then you get to see him work out in his open gyms or something like that, and spend time around him like it's a no-brainer. He became a huge, huge priority. And we never flinched, knowing that I don't know if other SECs were recruiting him. I know he visited Dayton. I know he visited Kansas State. I don't remember who else he visited. And we'd go to the gym, and I just felt great about it. I didn't care if there were 100 schools in there or one school in there. We felt great about it because we saw the upside in him, and the upside was not just his ability, but the upside was him as a person and what he was capable of. And then you get with him and you see the work ethic that he has, and it makes it that much more believable and achievable that he's going to have tremendous success in his life. And I think he is, I think he's been fantastic. And with that being said, I don't know if anybody's going to ask, but I want to comment on Severe and KD making those teams. I'm very proud of both of them. Severe has had a fantastic year. Certainly he's not the only one that I thought deserved recognition on a team, but I'm certainly glad that he did, because he's so deserving. And with what he's done starting at the beginning of the year, with the way he had the 3 straight double-doubles, to everything he did in between, to the maturity and growth that he's made on both ends of the floor, the decision-making, he's put himself in a position where he's tremendously valuable to us. That goes without saying, and is growing in stature inside of this league, and I think he will in the country, and just keeps getting better and better. For KD, to me, KD, what he did in the first semester, even if he would have never gotten eligible this year, would have showed me a lot of signs of what KD is capable of, I should say, with what he did academically with getting the 3.25, because he didn't have basketball outside of practice, didn't know if he'd be eligible, but he just worked like crazy to make himself a better student. And there were a lot of people that helped him when it comes to the academic part of really pushing him, driving him, keeping him centered and focused on our staff. I would go with Brian Fish and Jake Thielen in a big way with what they were doing. And then I would certainly go with everything that we had over in academics with Magdy and Whitney Burton, with keeping a complete plan for him every day. Chad Dollar did a great job with that. And then when he got eligible, he just made our team different. And he really did. He's highly competitive. He does a lot of things really well, and he's going to continue to get better and better. And for him to get that recognition, I think, especially having to shorten season, was impressive.
Coach, that's a perfect way for us to end. Thanks for your time and good luck tomorrow.
Sure. Thank you, guys. Thank you.